Just wanted to come out here to say thank you.
Any better, no one could have left a better statement in the ring.
All right, WWE, you got me. I see you. So, I wasn't really expecting this WrestleMania to be like, wow. But at the end of it, I am thoroughly impressed. You know, night one we already kind of covered, but let's cover it a little bit more. Well, actually, before we cover night one, let's back up to Stand and Deliver. Stand and Deliver was okay. I liked a lot of the spots in the ladder match. I thought that the storytelling that they did with Dolph Ziggler and Braun Breaker, and you know, the not so clean finish of that match, I thought was excellent and very well justified. But y'all, it looks like, from what I've seen and what was said for the couple of minutes that I watched the kickoff of, we could see Tommaso Ciampa retire. I don't want that. You know, I just don't want that. But anyways, so overall, I think that Stand and Deliver was okay. Night one of WrestleMania was pretty good. Was really way more than what I expected, in all honesty. You know, I wonder if they were planning on having the tag team of Shinsuke Nakamura and Rick Boogs go over, because it sure seemed like that's the way it was going. And then whenever what happened to Rick Boogs, they went on ahead and was like, all right, quick change. And then, you know, the Usos got to keep the titles. Am I okay with it? Yeah, I think it might have been a good decision. You know, all the titles, spoiler alert, stayed with the bloodline. And they've got a really good thing going on, you know, showing that they're a powerful faction or trio. Maybe not so much a faction as a trio, but they're showing some dominance. They're looking good. I can't really go against it. Let's see. My mind wants to jump next to the Seth Rollins Cody Rhodes match, so I guess that's where we'll go, since that's where my mind is like focused on next. There's some people that aren't for it. There are some people that are for it, and I think that's going to go with everything on all, like, any wrestling card, really. I was fairly for it. It felt good. It looked good. It was emotional. I actually kind of got chills whenever he started coming down to the ring on the entrance ramp, just because I think because it felt so surreal, and it was just a crazy feeling. So that was pretty cool. Let's see. Becky Lynch lost to Bianca Belair in a pretty good match. It's been rated 5 stars by some people that rate matches. I don't necessarily rate matches, especially whenever they don't happen at the Tokyo Dome. And it was good from what I've seen of it. I only was able to catch some highlights of that one, but it was enjoyable. Same with Ronda Rousey and Charlotte Flair. Only was able to catch the highlights, but the storytelling that I seen from the highlights, holy smokes. I kind of thought that Rousey would go away if she lost after WrestleMania, but the story they told, this is either going to be some really long storytelling where it comes back up at WrestleMania again, or we're going to see it at SummerSlam, or we're going to see it, I think we're going to see it somewhere down the road, because it didn't end well. Back to Cody real quick. I imagine he's going to be doing some talking on Raw tonight. I did not get a chance to look up stuff for Raw tonight like I had intended. So my apologies. But he did say he would address some stuff. I do know that. And I'm pretty sure he's going to be on Raw tonight. If it's not Raw, obviously it'll be SmackDown, but pretty sure it's Raw. Let's see. So I guess that leads us to the main event. Man, Kevin Owens comes out and he is doing anything and everything he can to say something negative about Texas, about Dallas, Texas, and how terrible it is there. Really, really pushing that. And I thought that was a really good way for them to go with it. And whenever we get to Stone Cold finally coming out, you know, it's kind of continuing where obviously Owens is saying a bunch of stuff, but he actually at first like tries to cover it up like, oh, you know, playing the nice guy. Well, and he goes, look, I wasn't fully honest. I wanted to challenge you to a fight. And then we get a no disqualification match with Kevin Owens and Stone Cold. We see Stone Cold hip toss Kevin Owens through a table. Man, it was great. And like just so much like typical Stone Cold shenaniganery. And I loved it. It was great. And then it left a good like wow feeling in me going into night 2. Night 2 had all kinds of great stuff on there. The RK Bros kept the tag team titles, so none of the tag team titles changed, which I thought that was really interesting. Well, at least on the main roster, I mean. Then we see, let's see, what else happened? Oh, well, let's talk about Sami Zayn and Johnny Knoxville. Man, there was so much cool stuff from what I've seen in that match, because I didn't get to watch that match yet. It is on my to-do list. I wasn't very hyped about it, if you remember from previous episodes. But like they ended up building like a giant mousetrap and set it off on Sami Zayn. So that was pretty cool from like what I seen of that. And then I seen a table set up with a bunch of mousetraps on it and stuff. So I can't wait to go back and watch that one. Now, Edge and AJ Styles, holy smokes again. Like, we're talking about all kinds of crazy stuff going on there. Those two guys being those two guys with some great wrestling, you know, spots, moments, whatever you want to call it, between the two of them. In the end, Damian Priest came out and aligned himself with Edge, and it was really good overall. Dave LaGreca likened it to the House of Black with Malachi Black over in AEW, kind of what they're doing with Edge. I don't know, it's got a different, it's got a different feel to me, so I'm not going to liken it to that. But I do like where it's going. Then, before we get to the next two spots, I want to go back to what I opened the video with the little clips, thanks to WWE. So make sure that you're going over to their YouTube account and watching their stuff and giving them some views, so maybe I don't get sued. But I do really, really like how they started it off. Because this whole weekend, we got so much of, like, if you're in your 30s, early 40s, I would imagine, late 20s, whatever, somewhere in those ranges, that demographic, whatever, you like got everything that you grew up with last night. You got, or not last night, this weekend. You got Undertaker, you got Triple H, you got Stone Cold. You didn't get The Rock, but I mean, we got some good stuff this weekend. And it's not my favorite WrestleMania, but that's a top 5 WrestleMania, guys. Like, not just because those three were involved, but wow. That, again, hats off to you, WWE. But, you know, Triple H saying he wanted to say thank you and that he loved the WWE universe. He, you know, that was really cool. And you can say what you want to about the guy. I've myself have made comments of, oh, he's, you know, boss's son-in-law just trying to get over. And yeah, I've been frustrated about things with Triple H in the past. But without Triple H, think about all the moments that we wouldn't have, that we did have because of Triple H. the two-man power trip. Come on, guys, that was pretty good. Let's see. His world heavyweight run where he pretty well ran through everybody, I hated it, and I mean hated it at the time. But think about the matches that we got out of that. And think about the payoffs that we got through it all. Like, because Evolution was going on at the same time, and we see Randy Orton win his first world title at the youngest age ever. And, we see the thumbs up from Triple H as he's on Batista's shoulders, and then the thumbs down. Like, that was fantastic. And then that feud between Orton and Triple H and stuff. I mean, the things that we got out of him were just fantastic. I've said it before with the stuff with The Rock, but I'm trying to focus on some different stuff now. He had great matches with everybody that he was in the ring with. The stuff that he did with Ric Flair whenever they would have matches against each other. Aside from The Undertaker, probably one of the best guys in cell matches. What more could you say? The dude did a lot for WWE, and ultimately, to me, wow, what he did in the ring was absolutely amazing. These past few years, what he has done for younger talent that are up and coming, and like what was really telling about this moment, I meant to have all this with the Tommaso Ciampa thing, but my brain is scatterbrained, so I apologize. But we've seen Tommaso Ciampa lose, and Tommaso Ciampa kisses the ring, and he walks to the top of the entrance ramp. But once he's about halfway or 3/4 of the way, Triple H's music comes on, Triple H comes out, hugs Tommaso Ciampa, whispers in his ear, and that was such a great moment, because it shows you so much of, okay, we hear all the time, especially now, I guess now is when we were hearing it, but we hear a lot about how Undertaker was a locker room leader. Triple H is very much a locker room leader as well. Obviously, he was doing a bunch of other stuff with NXT as well, but that dude was their locker room leader. And, what he did for those up-and-coming talent, even though a lot of them aren't there anymore, they're at AEW or abroad, they have learned so much from Triple H and have taken got that knowledge now. And Triple H had such a love of the business, and still does. And I just, I think it's great what he was able to apply to, like, what he did for the wrestling business, like applying himself and what have you. While we're on the subject of people not being able to wrestle anymore, so the last thing that I had heard and that I had reported was that Big E was no longer going to be able to wrestle again. Well, it's changed again, and now it sounds like he might be able to wrestle again, and that the neck injury isn't as bad. We'll see what ends up happening as we get closer, but no surgeries needed. Having being somebody that has had their neck broken before and not needed surgery, it's great news. It's good to hear. And I can go on roller coasters and stuff again and whatnot, so hopefully, Big E, you can continue to do what you do. I'm a trash man. I get shaken around and stuff doing that, and it's hard, strenuous work. So, not quite taking bumps and everything like what they do, but it's still pretty rough on the body. You're bouncing around and whatnot in the truck, and it can be pretty rough. But not to take anything away from them. I'm just saying, hopefully, that there's hope. I guess we're pretty well to the main event of Wrestlemania. The Unification Championship match. A lot of great spots in there. But, unfortunately, my pick was Brock Lesnar. I knew the way it was going to go, but I was stubborn, and I was like, no, there's still a chance. No, there wasn't. Roman Reigns is the unified champion. and he is deserving of it. He is the guy. I feel like it makes this, this head of the table thing that much stronger in the long run of things. And I guess we're going to see a whole lot more of the head of the table thing, which a lot of people are a fan of. I'm not necessarily a fan of it myself, but I guess that means, with everything that's happened, we'll hear some things tonight. Maybe even see a new challenger as of tonight, or maybe we got to wait till SmackDown to see who the next challenger is. Personally, after what's happened with Kevin Owens and Stone Cold, and there was a lot of really great articles about Kevin Owens coming out throughout the weekend about how he's kind of relaxing and he's just like letting what happens come to him and everything. Maybe we see them two go against each other, and there's a face turn for Kevin Owens, or maybe not. Logan Paul and Miz, they had a thing, and Miz turned on Logan Paul. So maybe we see something with the Miz. Maybe not, because maybe he's still heel. That one was a little blurry to me, so I would imagine he's more heel than not, but I'm just throwing some names out there that we could see face Roman Reigns that is on Raw. I mean, we could see Finn Balor again. We could see AJ. Maybe it's Edge again, and maybe Roman's gonna be a face head of the table, because I keep coming up with heel people for him to face. It's gonna be cool to see what ends up happening. There's still plenty of guys that he could, be fed and look strong and hold the title for the next 4 years, so we can, WWE can no longer have to mention Bruno Sammartino ever again. So we'll see what ends up happening. It is what it is. I'm still gonna watch. I'm not gonna be like, this is outrageous, because it's not. It's a story. They're telling us a story. Obviously, they could feed us Cody Rhodes, because I started thinking about his wrestling is a love story tweet. It very much is, and so we could see that happen. A lot of good stuff. Only time will tell. Like I had mentioned in the last Smark Stories video, taking a break from Smark Stories after this video for probably until Saturday morning, maybe even longer, just to give myself a break from wrestling related content being put out. But I've got plenty of other content to put out. I spent a good chunk of my free time already today putting videos together to release on YouTube. Yeah, guys, we're at the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. I do have a giveaway going on my Facebook page. I will put it in the I'm gonna put that one in the comments, so go to the comments, check that out. The post is pinned at the top. We're trying to get my Facebook page to 500 likes, so if you follow this page if you follow this channel but not my Facebook page, go over to the Facebook page and give it a like. And there's also a link to it in the description as well, but I'm also going to put it in the comments for you, so you can find it in either place. Thank you so much. Like, subscribe, comment, and enjoy Monday Night Raw and the rest of the wrestling this week, and we'll be talking soon.